Here we are once again, my brothers and sisters, for another study, and today we find ourselves in 1 Samuel 25. It's quite a lengthy chapter, but it tells us something very interesting about King David. You know, a young man might have a temper when he gets told that he's not welcome or he gets slighted in some way. Well, David today is about to exercise his temper to the fullest when one woman intervenes, talks some common sense into him, helps him remember that his job is to trust the Lord, and David will see that God works the whole thing out according to his plan for the benefit of his purpose, and he saves David. This one woman really saves David from making a huge mistake. Let me show you what I mean. In verse 1, we read, "Now Samuel died, and all Israel assembled and mourned for him. They buried him at his home in Ramah, and then David moved down into the desert of Maon." Okay, so first off, chapter 25, Samuel out of the picture. Okay, it's quite a move, right? Who's going to lead Israel now? The prophet was like the last judge along the way where the people look to him. Saul's king, but Saul doesn't seem to be a very proficient king. He's not doing what he should do. So in some ways, Israel is left leaderless at this moment. Well, a certain man in Maon who had property there at Carmel was very wealthy. Listen to this guy. He had 1,000 goats and 3,000 sheep, and he was shearing in Carmel. All right, a certain man, we're told. He's very wealthy. Just notice, so far we have no name. Here we go. His name was Nabal. All right. And his wife's name was Abigail. So here we have a married couple. He's rich. Right? She was an intelligent and beautiful woman. And her husband, a Calebite, was surly and mean in his dealings. So verse 3, we get the contrast between Abigail, her common sense, her intelligence, her beauty, and her husband. Nabal doesn't seem to be a very nice guy at all. So now the story. While David was in the desert, he heard that Nabal was shearing sheep. All right, so he sent 10 young men and said to them, "Go up to Nabal at Carmel and greet him in my name. Say to him, 'Long life to you.'" In other words, this is a friendly greeting. "Good health to you and your household, and good health to all that is yours. Now I hear that it is sheep shearing time, and when your shepherds were with us, we did not mistreat them, and the whole time they were at Carmel, nothing of theirs was missing." Notice now that we find out David has had history, not personally with Nabal, but with those who work for Nabal. Apparently David watched over Nabal's shepherds while they were in the field. Nothing bad happened to them. They didn't mistreat them. They didn't take any of their stuff. Verse 8, "Ask your own servants, and they will tell you. Therefore be favorable toward my young men." Okay, so return the favor. We helped you. We watched over you. Please return the kindness. Okay, since we come at a festive time, please give your servants and your son David whatever you can find for them. All right, that's the request. We need a little help here. Could you please pay us back for our kindness to you by helping us out a little bit? All right. When David's men arrived, they gave Nabal this message in David's name, and then they waited. Well, here you go. The story's about to turn. Nabal answered David's servants, "Who is this David?" Wow, this is almost like a rich guy, right? Who cares about who helped me? I'm still the one that owns everything. I'm still the one that has all my rights. I have the power of all the wealth that I have. Who is this David? Who is this son of Jesse? Many servants are breaking away from their masters these days. Why should I take my bread and water and the meat I have slaughtered for my shearers and give it to men coming from who knows where? Wow. Okay, so Nabal's response is not ambiguous, is it? No. Hey, I don't care about who you are. I don't care about who you think you are. I don't care that you treated my guys nicely and protected them when they were out in the field. I'm not giving you anything. Oh, okay. Well, David's men turned around and went back. When they arrived, they reported every word. Well, you know what David's going to do, right? David said to his men, "Put on your swords." So they put on their swords, and David put on his. About 400 men went up with David, while 200 stayed with the supplies. So we have 600 guys, 200 guys are staying in the camp. 400 guys are going to go deal with this ungrateful guy who thinks he's too rich to pay attention to anybody, named Nabal. All right, well, one of the servants told Nabal's wife, Abigail. Oh, remember, she's the beautiful, intelligent one, remember? David sent messengers from the desert to give our master his greetings, but he hurled insults at them. That's terrible. Yet these men were very good to us. They did not mistreat us, and the whole time we were out in the fields near them, nothing was missing. Night and day they were a wall around us. All the time we were herding our sheep near them. Very interesting, isn't it, that David is credited with being a nice guy to Nabal's staff. Well, now think it over and see what you can do, because disaster is hanging over our master and his whole household. He is such a wicked man, and no one can talk to him. Well, there it is. Nabal's character summed up in a sentence. His pride has overtaken him. His selfishness rules his life. He could care less about anybody else. So David comes and asks for help. Forget about it. And now the servant is quoted as displaying or relating to us Nabal's character. All right, he's wicked. He doesn't listen. There's no humility to this guy. All right, Abigail lost no time. What does Abigail understand? This intelligent, beautiful woman understands that her household, her husband, all that he's built is in terrible jeopardy because a warrior has been offended and he's coming. All right, Abigail lost no time. She took 200 loaves of bread, 2 skins of wine, 5 dressed sheep, 5 seahs of roasted grain, 100 cakes of raisins, and 200 cakes of pressed figs, and loaded them on donkeys. All right, so how do you get to a man's heart, right? Through his stomach. So Abigail, she can't defeat David militarily. No, what can she do? She can show him kindness. She can feed him. She can feed the army. She can be the one that offers him some help, even if her husband won't do it. So that's the list of what she brings on these donkeys. And then she told her servant, "Go on ahead. I'll follow you." But she did not tell her husband Nabal. So he's still over there stuck in his own pride. He has no idea what's going on right around him. As she came riding her donkey into a mountain ravine, there were David and his men descending toward her, and she met them. So she stops the warring party. David had just said, "It's been useless, all my watching over this fellow's property in the desert so that nothing of his was missing. He has paid me back evil for good." David says, "What? May God deal with David, be it ever so severely, if by morning I leave alive 1 male of all who belong to him." So the warrior has been completely agitated, and he is certainly prepared to do something about it. He's going to go wipe out Nabal for this offense. All right, has Nabal attacked David? Well, no, not directly. What has David lost because of Nabal's behavior? Well, really nothing, except David hasn't been honored in the way that he thinks he should be, and his love and his care has not been reciprocated as he thinks it should be. But the offense in terms of physical damage isn't really there. Well, listen to this. When Abigail saw David, she quickly got off her donkey and bowed down before David with her face to the ground, a sign of honor and respect. She fell at his feet and said, "My lord." Notice the address, "my lord." Let the blame be on me alone. Don't blame my husband, blame me. Please let your servant speak to you. Hear what your servant has to say. First request, what? I bow before you. I give you honor. I give you respect. And now I ask you for permission to ask you and talk to you about what's happening. Blame me, David. Don't blame my husband. Wow. So Abigail, in contrast to Nabal, is showing total humility, total servanthood. I mean, just bowing at his feet. May my Lord pay no attention to that wicked man Nabal. He is just like his name. His name is Fool, and folly goes with him. I mean, this is a wife talking about her husband, right? She seems to be less than perfectly satisfied with him as a person, right? But as for me, you're a servant. I'm your servant. Notice the language. I did not see the men my master sent, all right? Because they would have received a different response if I had received them, right? Now, since the Lord has kept you, my master, from bloodshed, notice how she phrases this. The Lord has kept you from doing what you're thinking about doing, David. You're my master, okay? He's kept you from bloodshed and from avenging yourself with your own hands. There it is. There it is. You depend on the Lord. Remember, you wouldn't kill Saul when he was in the cave. You cut off a piece of his robe and you felt terrible. You decided to wait for the Lord to move on your behalf. Now, why do you think killing Nabal is going to help you in any way? All right? You need to depend on the Lord. And here she's telling him, the Lord has kept you from coming in and doing what you're thinking about doing, avenging yourself with your own hands. As surely as the Lord lives, and as you live, may your enemies and all who intend to harm my master be like Nabal, and let this gift which your servant has brought to my master be given to the men who follow you. Please forgive your servant's offense, for the Lord will certainly make a dynasty for my master. Oh, do you see it? 28. For the Lord will certainly make a lasting dynasty for my master. You're still in God's hands, David. Don't let this offense put you in a position where you are going to act on your own. You still need to follow God. You still need to trust him. If he wants Nabal to be punished in some way for this offense, he will punish him. You don't have to do it. You can trust God. All right? Forgive us for offending you, but the Lord is going to do what he wants to do with you. He's going to make a lasting dynasty for my master because he fights the Lord's battles. Let no wrongdoing be found in you as long as you live. You don't have to commit this offense before God by killing my husband and all our people just because you have been wronged. Oh, interesting. Depend on God even though you've been wronged. Even though someone is pursuing you to take your life, that would be Saul, the life of my master will be bound securely in the bundle of the living by the Lord your God. There it is again. David, you need to keep your big picture in mind here. God is working in your life. No weapon formed against you is going to prosper. Saul the king isn't going to be able to defeat you. Certainly my husband Nabal isn't going to be able to withstand anything. You just need to keep holding on to God and let the offense flow away from you. God will take vengeance. Doesn't the Lord say, vengeance is mine, I will repay? We can trust that. That's one of the lessons in this chapter. But the lives of your enemies he will hurl away as from the pocket of a sling. When the Lord has done for my master every good thing he promised concerning him and has appointed him leader over Israel, my master will not have on his conscience the staggering burden of needless bloodshed or of having avenged himself When the Lord has brought my master success, remember your servant. Wow, this argument. This one woman saves David from himself. David said to Abigail, praise be to the Lord, the God of Israel, who has sent you today to meet me. I'm going to praise God for you, Abigail. May you be blessed for your good judgment and for keeping me from bloodshed this day and from avenging myself with my own hands. Otherwise, so he's just telling God, bless this lady, right? Otherwise, as surely as the Lord, the God of Israel lives, who has kept me from harming you, if you had not come quickly to meet me, not one male belonging to Nabal would have been left alive by daybreak. I was going to do it until you came and talked some sense into me. Then David accepted from her hand what she had brought him and said, go home in peace. I have heard your words and granted your request. And when Abigail went to Nabal, he was in the house holding a banquet like that of a king. He was in high spirits and very drunk. So she told him nothing until daybreak. At least Nabal's completely consistent, so self-absorbed, he doesn't care about anything else. Then in the morning, when Nabal was sober, his wife told him all these things. And his heart did what? His heart failed him. He had a heart attack. And he must have had a stroke too. It says, and he became like a stone. About 10 days later, the Lord struck Nabal and he died. Notice how it's framed. God was the one who exercised the power to avenge the offense that David experienced. David didn't do it himself. There's the lesson right there. When David heard that Nabal was dead, he said, praise be to the Lord who has upheld my cause against Nabal for treating me with contempt. He has kept his servant from doing wrong and has brought Nabal's wrongdoing down on his own head. Oh, look at this. Then David sent word to Abigail asking her to become his wife. Hey, Abigail, you're single. Maybe you'd like to get married to me. His servants went to Carmel and said to Abigail, David has sent us to you to take you to become his wife. And she bowed down with her face to the ground and said, here is your maidservant. I'm ready to serve you and wash the feet of my master's servants. Again, notice, total humility. Abigail quickly got on a donkey and, attended by her 5 maids, went with David's messengers and became his wife. So a couple footnotes at the end of the chapter. David had also married, Ahinoam, something like that, of Jezreel, and they were both his wives. So Ahinoam comes first. And the 2 wives, now, wasn't David married to Michal? Well, I think he was, but watch this. But Saul had given his daughter Michal, David's wife, to Paltiel, son of Laish, who was from Galim. The plot thickens with Saul. He's instigating again. In the end, though, today's a tremendous lesson for us. We don't have to defend ourselves. We don't have to take matters into our own hands. We have to trust in God's power to avenge whatever circumstance we face, if that's what he wants to do. We see it clearly with Nabal today. God bless you, church. Serve him well.
Who is it who for sinners shed his blood, and now for cleansing all can plunge beneath that flood? It's Jesus.